what's happening? It's your boy TC. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you fucking with my content. You feel me? And this time we got Bleach episode 15 review. Let's get started. Oh yeah, and by the way, it was a whole lot of dialogue in this episode, a lot of talking going back and forth and shit like that, which is cool and all, but yeah, just in case you ain't seen the episode, a lot of talking and shit like that. But the episode basically started off with Yhwach explaining to Uryu that the Quincy's have been hiding in the Serite the entire time in the shadows using Reshi, because in the Soul Society Reshi is very little, but in the Serite Reshi is powerful, and they've been using that shit in the shadows in some type of hidden world type shit that they done created and been powering up right underneath the Soul Society and the Soul Reaper's noses the entire fucking time. So some sneaky ass shit. As we see the episode progress, we see different members of the Stern Ritters going throughout the Soul Society and having different encounters and shit like that. We see Yhwach has an encounter with Shunsui, which he get to explaining the kill on everything instant order that they got out. Stern Ritter D ends up going to the research department where he encounters Mayori, which was glowing gold and shit, which is kind of cool. My boy pimping and shit, he macking. Nah, I'm just playing. But nah, he was glowing and shit, looking like a Super Saiyan, coming through knowing some extra ass information that I guess threw old boy off, Stern Ritter D. We see another Stern named Baz B. He ends up encountering Toshiro and Rangiku, and then we see a cool ass little attack between Rangiku and Toshiro where she uses her ash powers, or she takes a bunch of ash and they fuse it with the thin sheets of ice that Toshiro been basically manifesting and training on to use since his Bankai was stolen. They used that shit to form a wall and ended up hitting Baz B with a cold shoulder, literally. Then we end up seeing where Shunsui and Lieutenant Nanio, she end up activating Hakuden and puts up a shield between her and Yhwach in the middle of their discussion, so he don't get no funny ideas or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We end up seeing another Stern Ritter, BG9, which is some type of, this nigga got fucking Glocks and shit and RPGs attached to him and shit. But we end up seeing him. He end up attacking the big dude, Mauricio, and he over there protecting his sister. And y'all don't fuck with me about the names, man. Some of these names be hard, dog. But yeah, he end up attacking him, and then we end up seeing Soifan entering the battlefield with a perfected Shunko, which throws BG9 off since the last time that they had their encounter. So we basically seeing a lot of the captains and lieutenants encountering a lot of these Stern Ritters as they're going across the Serite. Back at the research facility, we see Mayori talking with Stern Ritter D, which he basically saying he ain't trying to fight him because he didn't found out where the shadow was, type shit, and that's what they meant by more, or that's what I meant by more information. He didn't found where the shadow world was, what they've been doing, and now he's saying like, shit, I done got some power up too. With the gold clothing on, I could only imagine like he done got some type of power up where even if his Bankai was taken, it could be another way to be, you know, defeating their ass. And so in that, Stern Ritter D don't really want to fight him, and he end up trying to dip out. Flips back over to Baz B, basically talking shit to Toshiro now, shit, because that cold shoulder ain't do nothing. You know what I'm talking about? He got right back up from that shit and ends up firing these beams of flames right at him, because he ends up telling him, like, all I gotta do is use one finger touch to fuck you up. You know what I'm talking about? So Toshiro ends up sensing danger and ends up sending Rangiku off to retreat, or at least some type of shit where they can recover or find out or analyze some more information, because he know dude ain't playing around with these damn finger flame touches and shit. With these beams, like the way he's shooting that fire out like that, he ain't fucking around. We see Soifan, she trying to get her get back on BG9, but then he ends up hitting her ass with a barrage of guns when he catches her off guard. And then he don't just catch her ass off guard, he catch her ass off guard up close, because she thinks she doing something, moving around all quick. He get her ass up close, boom. So then we basically see something where they end up saying, you know, Toshiro and Soifan's like spiritual pressure is like, they ain't seeing it type shit. So we knowing that they done got faltered and left with like basically a grim fate. We see the man that stole Toshiro's Bankai, he ends up appearing over there near Baz B, and he tell him like, look here, chill out with all that shit. Only the ones that stole the Bankai can actually kill the captains. That's how we gonna do this shit. So on some dun 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 dun. But yeah, I think that shit was kind of crazy how they did that. Like, you know, they wanting to use the ones that took the Bankai to kill the captains like how they did in last season. That shit crazy as fuck though. Like, use your powers against you type shit, nigga. But nonetheless though, we do end up getting some hope at the very end of the episode where Urahara ends up calling Captain Mayori, and he ends up telling him that he's completed the process to reclaim Bankai back, which gonna definitely, you know, even out the playing field for some shit, you know, because they had the upper hand. But after he didn't completed the process, I knew my man was doing something. I knew he was working in the laboratory hard. He been studying. He been getting his books right. I knew he was gonna come up with something. He was gonna come up with a plan. But that's my man been doing. And then, like, at the very end of the episode, we see a little clip of Ichigo basically walking through the place we seen him in episode 14, this little realm, and we see the Zero's squad member talking and telling him that this place is called Irizuzandu. I think I'm saying that name right. But yeah, basically a place where people about to die, they be going. So he finna ascend to some heavenly shit, or he finna ascend past, you know what I'm saying? He finna acclaim what he's supposed to come to. But that was my little quick summarization and review of this, man, on episode 15, because it was just a whole bunch of talking and a whole bunch of dialogue. We did get a short little couple fight scenes here and there, and I thought they was really dope and shit like that, but basically a whole bunch of talking and shit. But I did still enjoy it. Still a good episode, even though it was a whole bunch of dialogue. It was shit that we was needing to know, and basically, oh, this is how they did that. Oh, this is what happened with this. Oh, okay. But because it was a whole lot of dialogue and not like super whole lot of action, I'm gonna get a shit like a 7.5, like an 8. But that ain't saying like the episode wasn't good. That's just saying, you know, it was a whole lot of talking for me, you know what I'm saying? A lot of shit to sit through. But yeah, I still enjoyed the episode, and I hope y'all enjoyed this review. So yeah, man, as always, one love, two peace, and we out. Till next time. You dig? Peace.